My name is Ricardo Ramirez, and I'm doing my topical speech on spam. Did you know that spam is a very commonly used food item across the world and has been since the 1930s? In this speech, I will be covering the three main points of spam: the history of spam, the culture of spam, and the international usages of spam. My first main point will be the history of spam. Spam is a brand of canned pork made by the Hormel Food Corporation. Spam was introduced by Hormel on July 5th, 1937. The Oxford Encyclopedia of Food and Drink in America states that the product was intended to increase the sale of pork shoulder, which was not a very popular cut. Spam became very popular during World War II. The difficulty of delivering fresh meat to the front during World War II, spam became a huge part of the U.S. soldiers' diet. During World War II and the occupations which followed, spam was introduced into Guam, Hawaii, and Okinawa, the Philippines, and other islands in the Pacific. My second main point I'm going to be covering is the culture of spam. During World War II, spam was not only eaten, but also incorporated in many other aspects of the war, such as grease for guns, cans for scrap metal, along with other resourceful ways. It was so prominent that Uncle Sam was nicknamed Uncle Spam. Other militaries were influenced by the product name, included the European Invasion Fleet, or else known as the Spam Fleet. In the U.S., in the aftermath of World War II, a troop of former servicewomen was assembled by Hormel Foods to promote spam from coast to coast. The group was known as the Hormel Girls and associated the food with being patriotic. In 1948, just 2 years after its formation, the troop had grown to 60 women, with 16 forming an orchestra. The show went on to become a radio program where the main selling point was spam. The Hormel Girls was disbanded in 1953. For my last point, I'll be covering the international usages of spam. Domestically, spam's chief advantages were affordability, accessibility, and extended shelf life. Statistics from the 1990s say that 3.8 cans of spam were consumed every second in the United States, totaling to nearly about 122 million cans annually. It became part of the diet for almost 30% of American households, perceived differently in various regions of the country. It is also sometimes associated with economic hardship because of its relatively low cost. In the Philippines, spam is a popular food item and is seen as a cultural symbol. As a former U.S. colony, spam reached the island similar to how it reached Hawaii and Guam as a result of the World War II rationing. Spam is commonly eaten with rice and a sunny side up egg for breakfast. It is prepared and used in a variety of ways, including being fried, served along condiments, or used in sandwiches. It has also been featured in numerous Filipino fusion cuisine dishes, including spam burgers, spam spaghetti, spam nuggets, and other wonderful foods. In conclusion, spam has been and or used for almost a century. The three main points I covered about spam were the history of spam, the culture of spam, and lastly, the international usages of spam.